Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday night. Hope everything is good in your world. Let me give you a bit of an update on mine. First and foremost, one of the reasons where I am roughly on time with this stream, I already forgot. I was supposed to open the beer next to the mic, so you could hear it pop open. But yeah, welcome everybody. It has been a while. I have a lot of stuff to open. And we do have a good KvK to spectate as well. Hopefully the clickbait headline brings some people in as we debate the decision by 1093 to leave their match early today in the Grand Prix and go back to fighting in Kingsland. And I have a point of view on it, but the one thing I wanted to check is whether everyone left the match or not. Because I feel like I saw, okay, yeah, I saw screenshots where not everybody left. I'm glad I checked this, actually, because, look, even Silent Flow stayed. So, some other players stayed. Looks like 7 other players stayed for maybe the whole match? I'm not exactly sure. But I think this is kind of relevant because it shows that even some of the players in 1093 felt like maybe what they were doing was not correct. Mad Mania, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Look, I don't really have a problem with what 1093 did. For those who don't know, they were playing in the Grand Prix. They were one of the final 4 teams in the Grand Prix. They got kind of owned at the beginning of the match. I actually didn't watch it, but I think early on in the match they lost their obelisk. Maybe we can watch this real quick to see exactly what happened. But essentially they lost one of their obelisks right at the start of the match. And you know, at that point, they were pretty screwed. Yeah, I mean, here's the situation. I'm not going to necessarily find the exact spot where this all happened, but they lost their obelisk and decided to just leave the match and fight in Kingsland in their KvK instead of finishing up this match. And so the live stream ended early, and in our match, there was a pinned message when me and Dirty Dan were casting our match that said, please keep the conversation about the current match that's happening. You know, they didn't want our chat to devolve into debating what happened in this match. So actually, it looks like they did get the obelisk back at one point. And so it looks like the enemy went like super heavy on this side. And I guess at some point they lose the obelisk again. Let's fast forward just a little bit and see what happened here. Addy, welcome to the stream. Wally, welcome to the stream. I need to somehow... I need to find a way to increase this chat size because I'm wearing my contacts and I can't see this chat too well. Maybe we can go over here and do it. Yeah, so... Oh, what'd they do? They use sneaky tactics or something? I mean, they just sort of like... They just overpowered them here, where they probably had about 2/3 of their team fighting here. Thank you all for being here. I'm just trying to... I'm trying to get this chat so I can see it better. Oh, whatever. Anyway, Yeah, it looks like they just steamrolled him here at the obelisk. And they took the obelisk, they teleported in. The match was basically over. 1093 had obviously lost the match at this point, but they just decided to leave the match rather than play it out. And to me, that's their right to do it. They have every right to do that. They don't owe the community anything. I would say they don't really owe Lilith anything, although Lilith is giving them some pretty generous prizes for this Grand Prix. So they are well within their right to do it. You can say it's not the right thing to do, the quote-unquote not the right thing to do, but I think that's it's sort of a very minor thing from an ethical perspective. I don't think ethics or rightness and wrongness have much of anything to do with this here. Although obviously some of their players decided not to leave, right? Click on pop-out chat and it'll make it bigger. No, I did click on I have the pop-up chat brought out, but I can't increase the size. Anyway, I can read it. It's just I see better with my glasses on. So yeah, I don't really have an issue with what they did. I will say that Lilith has put a lot into the Grand Prix this season. Obviously, I was hired to cast a lot of matches. And, you know, for the last 2 months, my Saturday and Sunday mornings have been casting Grand Prix matches. We started as early as the qualifiers, where I was doing marathon live streams of the qualifying matches of the Grand Prix. And, you know, we're being compensated for that, and it's been a really good opportunity for myself, for Dirty Dan, Plato, Chisgel, and Redline. You know, they got a lot of people involved in it, and there's also a team at Lilith who's also organizing all of that, organizing the live streams. They had us do interviews of some of the teams a weekend ago, and what I think they wanted to do was they wanted to hype up the end of the Grand Prix, right? The numbers have been decent, the viewership numbers have been decent, but not great, and I think their hope was that, especially after 1093 did that rather historic play to beat 466S last week, where they warped players in late in an arc fight and won the arc fight because of that warp. At that point, you had an international team in the Final Four, and I think there was a decent amount of hype going into this weekend. So for 1093 to leave the match ahead of time, and for the 2 matches that I casted today to be blowout wins, you know, it kind of took some of the wind out of the sails of the end of this Grand Prix, this long process of the Grand Prix, where there's been a lot of hype and a lot of support and a lot of coverage. It was just sort of a disappointing final Sunday or Saturday for this. I guess tomorrow there's going to be another best of 3 match that could be very good between a couple of Chinese teams, but you know, this was a bummer of a way to end things for the last hope of the international server. So, like, in that sense, you can criticize 93T for it, but I would say they are within their rights to do it, and it does make some amount of sense for them to do it because they are in a pretty intense KvK, and they wanted to have you know, more players fighting on the front lines, rather than spending an hour, you know, watching the other team take their obelisk and take over the map, right? So they were within their rights to do it, but I guess I would just say 2 things, right? One, not all their players left. Some of their players stayed on the map, including their leader. And 2, they probably didn't have to do it, right? Like, it's only an hour, right? It's only an hour that you're missing, and you're only missing 30 players. You still have a roster of another 100 plus accounts that can fight and hold flags while 30 of your players play a Grand Prix match for an hour. I mean, I don't think they had to do it. I don't think it really improved or hurt their win condition much at all. And so in that sense, maybe you don't maybe you choose not. Maybe you choose to just play this match out because like it's not going to make a big difference in whether you win the KvK or not. Mad Media says, does it feel weird being on face cam after all this time? Not too much. Not too much. What's weirder more is like that I just see a little bit better with my glasses, so reading the chat is just a little bit more annoying. But no, it's not too weird. It's not too weird. I think ultimately I'm gonna like not really look at the camera because I look down at my screen, so we'll get into it, you know. But Sosa, welcome to the stream. Egan Deer, welcome to the stream. Looks like maybe Wally is in 2906 because Madmania is saying 2906 is pretty strong. I have not watched this KvK much. We can check in on it now. You know, listen, there's a lot to do on this stream. That's not the kingdom we're looking for. There's a lot to do on this stream. I have a bunch of armament chests that I want to open. That's part of the reason that I'm streaming tonight is because I want to get these things opened before my own arc match. We can spectate this KvK. I'll probably do some that tri-arc event, and I'll probably maybe play some Champions of Olympia at the end of the stream as well. So plenty to do, but we can kick it off by looking at this KvK and seeing what the latest is on it. Nutso Snake, welcome to the stream. If I didn't say hello to you already, thank you all for hanging out. I know it's a weird time. It's 8 p.m. here on the West Coast in the U.S. I had a very, very busy month of October, which is good. You know, it's the first. This is the first year of my business, and it's all about clients. You know, I started the business because I had a good client list, and in the month of October, I had my biggest client send me a bunch of projects, and just last week, I had a really, really good client who I hadn't heard from all year. They sent me their first project of the year as well. So I've just been very busy. I have not been able to make much YouTube content. Haven't played ROK all that much. I've kind of paid attention to what's going on, but not really. So this is just a chance to get updated on what's happening in ROK, what's happening with my account. I've got a lot of chests to open, and, you know, we'll just chop it up a little bit here. While I have my first and probably second beer of quite a while, I don't think I had a drop of alcohol in the month of October. I'm going to be busy, very busy again next week, but tonight is a rare moment where I can kind of kick back a little bit, and very happy to kick back with you all. Natsu, welcome to the stream. Mohammed, welcome. Wally says that the 93 24/7 uptime is ruining his sleep. Yeah, I'll be curious to see how Abusement Park plays. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of players in Abusement Park that are well known in the community. You know, Duke is someone who I didn't really know in 1079, but you know, played with him a little bit in 1079. Dr. Drunk as well. So, and I guess they got like a good migration in. I think what Duke was saying was that they got a good migration in. So if they played well, that's certainly notable. I think in the past we've noticed a bit of build issues with 2906. I think Addy, who's in the chat, was watching them one night and wasn't thrilled with how 2906 was building or how their opponent's 1316 was building. But Kingsland is more of a brute force type of zone. Strength is strength in a zone like this, and if 2906 has a lot of fighting power and a lot of activity, then they can make things difficult on a kingdom like 1093 in partnership with their other 5 teammates. You know, I have not watched this KvK too much. I think what we're seeing right now is a lot of progress from 2906, although they're not progressing on every front, are they? They're not progressing over here. They're not connecting with 2906 over here. But they are building a new flag right here, so... And it looks like this one's going to get built without issue. And then... At that point, it does look like some of this territory right close to the Zig is going to be in deep, deep trouble, because one thing I noticed right off the bat is that these resource tiles have not been gathered. So, I mean, these flags just are already looking really vulnerable. They probably need to teleport a city in right here, if they can. You see that they are filling up this flag, but you need that city right here, I think, or you're gonna have a lot of trouble defending too many of these flags. This one looks defendable. Looks like they've got a few farms around this flag. But then once 1093 gets past these first couple flags and gets back to these lines here, it's going to be very tough to defend these with all these resource tiles here. And he says 2906 was a B seed back then. They didn't have the manpower to credit forts. Now they can be a different beast. They have the manpower to build forts, build credits, and compete at high A KvK. Kildy, welcome to the stream. Gotcha. So they came. So a group from 2396 came to 2906, and that buffed them up. Yeah, I think I've heard of Mafia before. But yeah, you know, this is turning into like a better KvK than people expected. You know, I'm gonna just leave this for a moment and lower my graphics a little bit, if I can, because the game is lagging for me a little bit here. So let me just. I had my graphics on high because of Osiris League, and it's haunting me a little bit here tonight with the stream, but that's all right. I was watching this earlier today, and one thing I was thinking about was, like, there's almost an additional skill that these really top kingdoms need to have. I mean, when we're talking about 960, 2489, 1093, 2377, these type of kingdoms, like, yes, they have to be able to compete and beat each other, but now that there are so few of them, they also have to be good at winning these heavily outnumbered KvKs, right? Like, it's almost a it's a different way to prove yourself if you're 1093, is actually winning these KvKs. You take the 6 versus 1, but can you then actually win it? We saw a kingdom like 2975 take a very outnumbered KvK, and they lost. And then after that, they went to sort of rigging KvKs in their favor, right? So if you're a kingdom like 1093 or 489 and you're unable to win a 1v6, then I think what's going to happen the next time around is you're going to, you know, ask to have somebody on your side. You're going to be like, hey, why don't we make this a 2v2 or something like that? And that starts to be a bit of a bad look, right? It becomes a bit of a bad look if you're unwilling to take these matchups. But if you can't win them, then I think as a kingdom you're going to stop taking them. So to me, this is like pretty serious business, right? Like at first when we saw these, you know, matchups where one of these juggernaut kingdoms was against a bunch of smaller kingdoms, we were like, oh, this is like the off season. This is where the KvKs aren't going to matter for a while. But you know, when the 6 are actually being competitive, when they're actually trying to win, I think at that point it does become serious business, where there's actually a difference in quality, where like a very good kingdom, which 1093 is, a very good kingdom is going to win in this situation, Whereas like a not great kingdom is probably going to lose. So, you know, I can see why everybody's taking this quite seriously. HD says he's piloted in 29.6. It's been a rough for us at night. Yeah. Do you have any? Are there any like Asian kingdoms on this side? I feel like I'm not sure who the best kingdom is on this side, but I feel like I've heard about 65A in the past as well. I mean, they're only 2 stars, 3165, but I feel like I've heard that 3165 is decent as well. It does seem like Water Camp is doing the most. Are either of these other kingdoms doing much? I mean, this Yellow Kingdom doesn't seem like it's out and about too much at the moment. That looks like it's a farm alliance, actually. 2102 is Asian. Okay. So, yeah, they have some Asian coverage as well on the opposition. Yeah, 2102 is a Korean kingdom where one of our ex-players went there. Essay went to 2102. I saw Essay on the front lines earlier. Not sure if it was over here or what. Let me find the fighting here. Sorry that I'm zooming all over the place, but yeah. So here's the other group here. This is gonna be Wind Camp here in orange, and so they've got the Night Owls from 2298 with 3 stars, and they've got 2102 with 4 stars, and I believe this is a Korean kingdom where we do know some of the people in this group here. So, I mean, it's going to be... It seems to me like tonight is going to be the night where 1093 really tries to lean on Water Camp here. Wally says the stats from Kale are interesting. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to see, right? I feel like the stats are going to tell the tale in a lot of ways, as far as like who carried their weight and who didn't. If you're one of these 6 kingdoms, you do just want to like have good stats, right? At the end of this, you want to have good stats because that's what people are going to look at. I mean, you want to help your you want to help your allies out and stuff. You want to take territorial objectives when you can, but when this thing is all said and done, everyone's going to see the stats and they're going to look at what kingdoms did what, and they're going to rank the kingdoms according to that. Conqueror, welcome. Yeah, HDT, if you want to message me the stats, go for it. Yeah, be curious to look at that. I'm just reading up to see what Addy had to say about 650 kingdom domains. Because the other thing you have to think about right now is that you know, the domain system is in the game at this point. The domain system is in the game. We are using the domain system in our current KvK. I believe we registered a 270 accounts for... And Addy, if I'm not supposed to say anything like this, let me know. But we registered, you know, 270 accounts for the KvK that we're going to be in next. And that's, you know, like definitely not all of our players, right? A lot of our quote unquote active players are going to be in domain 2, and we just don't really have to deal with them. We didn't really have to kick too many people out, I don't think. We just sent them all to domain 2. And so we're just like a lean group going into the next KvK. And I mean, I think it basically worked as intended, right? I think the system is working as intended. But one of the issues is that not all kingdoms have the required number of City Hall 25s. Eddie, if you can remind me about how many cities you need to register for the domain system, I think it might be like 800 or so. So some of the kingdoms that we're associating with or talking with in this next KvK, they were not able to enter the domain system, and so they're like really fat and have like all their players registered for like the first domain. So I think at the moment there's like a very big difference between whether you can use the domain system or not. Oh, it's 600. Yeah, you only need 600 City Hall 25s to qualify for domain. But not everybody has that. Not every like A kingdom and B kingdom has that. So, it's the game is in an interesting spot right now. I guess there's a lot, has been a lot that has changed or is changing. I was reading the patch notes before my stream, and obviously there's a lot of things coming in. There's going to be a new Ark of Osiris map for the Silver battlefield that's 30 minutes long, 15 players, and is a smaller map. There's some combat optimizations that I didn't fully understand, but some of them do seem pretty interesting. Like added a quick command setting where if you enable it, when you have a troop selected, tapping an open space on the map will order the troop to move there. I feel like that already exists, right? And tapping a target will order the troop to attack it. Call me crazy, but isn't this already in the game? Like you select a troop and then you click somewhere on the map and it goes there. I don't quite understand what's different here, but they're saying it can also work a bit with attack march. So anyway, it looks like they're maybe getting a few optimizations to things. One of the biggest changes, and tell me if I'm reading this wrong, but for Season of Conquest Kingdoms, the level cap for barbarians outside of the Lost Kingdom has been increased to level 40. So I take that to mean that in the home kingdom, we're going to have level 40 barbs. Am I reading this correctly? That we're going to have level 40 barbs in the home kingdom to where we could potentially chain barbs all year long? Now, they're probably going to get mixed up with the level 25 barbs. I think that might be the only problem with the level 40 barbs and chaining in the home kingdom. But maybe in the area around the Zig, for example, it's going to be all level 35 to 40 barbs. And, I think that's cool, man. You're time locked for chaining by when you're in the Lost Kingdom and when you have good enough territory to chain those high level barbs. So if they allow us to chain all year round, then that just allows you to chain on your own time. It allows you to chain on your own schedule rather than chaining on the schedule of when you're in the Lost Kingdom. So, that's pretty cool. There's the update where they're getting rid of debuffs on castle skins, which I don't know if that's a direct reaction to the video that I made about castle skins, but boy, I might have more pull with Lilith than I thought, because about a week or so after I complained about the castle skins, they fixed the castle skins. I've been hitting about 1,000 this year on a lot of the proposed things that I've changed, or a lot of the changes that I have proposed. I made a video a few months back about why I thought that Rise of Kingdoms was not a dying game, and I made some suggestions like a vacation mode. I made the suggestion to reduce the requirements to be a domain kingdom so that more kingdoms could participate in the domain system. All those changes are in the game as well. And then there's also some changes that I think are probably a reaction to Age of Empires Mobile coming out, which is they're going to add a resource calculator and a speed up calculator into Rise of Kingdoms. Irgandur is giving me credit for the castle skin change. He's laughing at the end of it, but hey, listen, I did suggest it. I did suggest it. But I mean, that's a change that I feel very good about, right? Because it's gonna definitely buff me. Boy, when you have high graphics on, you cannot see anything. I mean, honest to gosh, you cannot see anything that's happening when you have high graphics on here. It's hard to even tell what the numbers are, right? Like, I have to zoom out into dot mode to see what the numbers advantage is, which now we can see that Abusement Park has the numbers advantage here in this little pointless skirmish. This flag has been completed now, and I assume they're going to be rallying this flag very soon here. Let's take a look at the stats here. Here we go. Looker Studio. Okay. Let me pull up the stats for the KvK we are in right now, or we are watching right now. Just taking a minute to load here, I think. There it is, okay. Alright, so here we go. Here are the stats for this KvK. Let me go ahead and turn I'm going to block the chat for just a second here so you can all see it. So, pretty even. 1093 is generated a bit more kill points than their opponents. Water has double the kill points of their two allies. The deads are much higher for the 6, and so we can kind of see why this has been a bit slow going, because they're just filling up garrisons and trying to make this a game of deads, which is the right thing to do. That's what we did against 2268, is we made this a game of deads where they were not going to progress against us just by out kill pointing us. They were going to have to take a lot of deads and do a lot of rallying. And we did eventually, I think, whittle them down a little bit. So I think these guys are doing the right thing on the group of 6, but I think the issue is they're just not getting anywhere near as much from wind and earth as they're getting from water. Water's doing a very nice job. 2906 is quite far ahead in terms of kill points and in terms of dead. So, you know, that's a good performance by 2906. Looks like some of these kingdoms are not doing a whole lot. 2102, where Essay went, my boy Essay went to 2102 to quote-unquote help them. He said, I'm going there to help my friend. I mean, Essay's a great player, but with these kind of stats, he's better off just coming back to 1770 and you know, booking some wins. But yeah, there's the stats for this KvK. Looks like 1903. You know, it's going to be a question of them having enough troops. It's going to be a question of them having enough troops to make it to the end. Boy, my computer is really lagging. This is rough. Yep, so Monster Moki coming in with the rally here. Memmedia wants 100k gems if I have the kind of pull I'm claiming I have. I'm still figuring out what kind of pull I have. I'm trying to rig the next KvK in our favor. I did ask Lilith that... I told Lilith that we didn't want to play with 1824 again. And then 1824 backed out and dodged this queue. So I don't know what Lilith did to make 1824 back out, but they did back out. Next, I'm going to ask them to give us a certain campmate in the upcoming all for Britain KvK. So easy burn here on this flag. 2906 did get a city in to reinforce, but it was not enough to avoid the burn on this flag. Very good presence at the moment for 1903. Looks like they're going to now rotate over to this more difficult flag. I think what I noticed there was not a lot of swarming. Not a lot of swarming on that rally. But, you know, it'll be good to see how 2903 or how 1093 does things here when they're in heavy control. How do they burn a flag when they have heavy control? The other thing I want to see is the new commander CY, is he getting used? I have not seen too many CY garrisons. I assume he's very good, but I have not seen him a ton so far. How big of a part of the meta is CY as a Kingsland garrison? Do a Ronnie, Brian. I would have just never thought to do what Ronnie did. It would have never even occurred to me to be like, hey, we're losing our KvK and I'm out of resources. Can you please send me some resources? I don't know. I've been gaming for too long where that's kind of stuff was just a complete no-go that I would have never even thought to do that. We're obviously living in a different world now where everything is pay to win. And game developers are from all over the world, but yeah, Ronnie had some balls with that request for sure. Yeah, Ronnie didn't do it in KvK. He did it when he was fighting for control of his kingdom, 1016. You know, he was trying to get control of his kingdom, which eventually he and Drago did take control of 1016 in one of the very first big wars of this game before KvK even existed. Knight, welcome to the stream. Swizz says a lot of the flags don't even need a swarm. Gotcha. Yeah, Knights, if you want to send me some CY reports, go for it. Go for it. So it looks like maybe a bit of harassment. I don't know if they're trying to get reins in or what, but 93T has this flag quite surrounded. And Ronan here rallying with Scipio Tariq. Looks like they're doing a mix of infantry and archer rallies. And they're cutting through this Gorgo quite swiftly here. This is one of those things where I do feel good about 1770's defensive capabilities when I sort of watch other kingdoms play defense, because without getting into it too much, we would have had a lot more reinforcements. We would have had a lot more sad faces at the end of that defense than they did there. Are they spam attack marching? They are so clean. Yeah, it looked like they were getting pretty good harassment on the reins. On the reins there. When Addy says, are they spam attack marching, what he's essentially saying is that players are simply going back and forth in the field, holding down their cursor, because you can only set attack march when you hold down the cursor. So they're essentially underneath the flag, they're holding the cursor down and walking to one end of the flag. They're attack marching all the way over here. Then they're holding their cursor down again, walk back the other way, and they're doing that over and over and over again. To me, that is extremely tedious. Extremely tedious. I don't mind walking back and forth and right-clicking back and forth, but I do not want to just go back and forth holding down the cursor to do attack march. If 1093 is doing that to harass the reinforcements more effectively, then more power to them. But yeah, that's not in my repertoire. Swiss says they had a lot of Henry rallies at the beginning, so they're running out of archers, trying to drain their imp now. Yeah, I mean, it looked from the stats like, you know, you guys, or the group of 6 has been doing a decent job of draining the troops of 1093. And that is the way you win here, because you have more troops. The group of 6 has more troops. They're probably not going to win in the field all that often, and we're kind of seeing them even get pushed back here. But they do have a lot of troops. Swizz says they're not doing the attack mode thing. They're just in dot mode and spamming. Yeah, that's what I do. I just stay in dot mode and click very fast. And that kind of feels good, right? There's something relaxing about hanging out underneath an enemy flag, watching your team's rally burn it from your second monitor, and on your first monitor you are just clicking back and forth, right-clicking back and forth, putting in work. That's relaxing to me, but constantly holding down the cursor and then hitting attack march, nah, man, that's for the birds. That's for the birds. Oh, maybe Knights messaged me. Oh, he messaged me on Discord. Gotcha. Okay. All right, let's take a look at a couple of Cho Young reports here from Knights. Here's Swiss. I don't know if that's the player in my chat or not, but here's a Cho Young Heraclius flag against an Asher Zug. I guess this is from a different KvK here. But, okay, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. If it can trade positively against just a rally, then it should do pretty well against Swarm as well. So there's a Gorgo report, but totally different. Well, we got one CY report from Knights there. Chat discussing the chat is discussing farm filling, and obviously filling farms is a very, very key part of being successful on defense and on offense. You got to use your farms, or else your main accounts will run out of troops. Let's do a quick census here of the frontline 93T cities. You can actually see that they're in pretty rough shape. Silent Flow down to 72 million power. Rage Problems down to 71. Peace down to 77. I didn't realize Peace went to 93. I mean, they're looking okay. They've got a good number of people, actually, who are in the 80s still. They're actually looking okay here. If you're in the 80s, then you can still absolutely 100% field, you know, 5+ marches. Moki's at 106. We played against Moki. I forget where we played against Moki, but I've definitely played against Moki in the past. I think Moki might have been in the Hawks, if I'm not mistaken. I think he might have been in 1682, or maybe I'm confusing him with somebody else. But I think Moki might have been in the Hawks. Swizz S, isn't the most effective farms around 20 to 30 million, with a large majority of that being troop power? It's all about the ratio of troop power to your total power, right? I mean, the best farms are the most effective ones, right? The best farms are the ones that have the best ratio of power to troops. I mean, I would assume that you can get a 50 million power farm that has very low tech and a ton of troops. And in that case, the 50 million power farm would be the best farm, or the most efficient farm. Every once in a while, I do try to reward people who are watching my stream with very good information, and that's what I just did a moment ago. as Adinavo just said, the bigger the farm, the more you can spam fill it. Yeah, so it's kind of funny, right? You know, Chisgul on what I watched a video that Chisgul made about one of the patches, and he was like, you know, go back in my past videos and you'll see me suggesting a bunch of these things. And as I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, well, you only have to go back about a week in my videos to see me suggesting some of this stuff. And, you know, one of the things that I think Chisgul has been suggesting passively over time is that he doesn't seem to be a huge fan of the farm meta. He's kind of said, you know, he's intimated at times that farms should be less powerful than they are. I have no such belief. I think the farm meta is fine. I think the farm meta rewards non-whale kingdoms and allows non-whale kingdoms to compete with kingdoms that they otherwise would have no chance to compete with. So, I mean, maybe Lilith is listening to me on that one as well. Maybe my support of the farm meta is keeping those changes at bay. I'll keep fighting the good fight for us, and we'll see what happens. Bliss says T5 farms is stupid. Well, you also work with what you have. You know what I mean? You work with what you have, and if you're an old kingdom like 1093, what they probably have to some extent is they have... Like, I bet some of these are farms. I don't know if we could find one, but I would bet some of these are farms. I certainly saw against 960 that they were using some amount of, you know, T5 farms to fill stuff up. Boy, man, look at the KP on some of these accounts, man. 30 million KP. There was a guy with 42 million KP that I saw earlier. Wonder if we could find a T5 farm here. There's Elsa, who used to be in 770 as well. I'm not going to talk about it at the moment, but every time I see Elsa, I get kind of tilted that we were not able to keep Elsa in 770. He's the exact kind of player that our Korean group needs, and we literally ran him out after one KvK. Yeah, not seeing a lot of T5 farms here, but like, here's a very effective farm, right? Look at this farm. 48 million power. Now, maybe there's a lot of tech on this thing. Maybe it's a very old... It looks like a pretty new farm too, right? Like, this looks like a pretty new farm. Low helps. Yeah, I mean, a pretty effective farm here probably from Moki. 48 million power. Pretty new ID. Not a lot of dead so far, though, to be honest. I mean, let's just take a quick screenshot of this farm, and I'll compare it to my first farm, right? I'll just give you guys a look at what a long-term, non-optimal farm can do in this game. Let me just quickly switch over to Lil Kuh. Or Middle Kuh, sorry. I appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat tonight. It's nice to just talk with y'all. I was absolutely going to have a couple of beers tonight, no matter what, because this is literally like the first night I've had off in several weeks. I've been working 7 days a week for a while, so I was gonna have beers anyway. But it's so much better to like have beers while talking with other people, rather than like sitting on my couch watching a movie and getting drunk. So. Definitely appreciate y'all hanging out. And sorry if I'm a little bit disjointed in some of the stuff. So here's my like main farm. Lil Kuh, or Middle Kuh, formerly Lil Kuh. You can see that my my player ID here is very old. And I've got okay, so Moki's farm is actually old. Right, it's obviously a very old farm, right? This is obviously a very old farm with 50 million resources gathered. But he's only got 5 million deads and 165k kill points. I mean, look at Middle Kuh here. Way fewer helps, way fewer resources gathered, but I've got 20 million deads and I've got 500 million kill points. So I take back what I said about that being an amazing farm. Middle Kuh is definitely not an amazing farm. It has a lot of tech. I mean, there's a lot of tech on this city for sure. I don't know if I can see how much tech I have. I guess I maybe can. No. But decent amount of tech on this thing, but it's just been around for so long and put in so much work that I've been able to get, 20 million deads on it. So, building an optimal farm is like really good. It's good to like build an optimal farm, but as AG is just asking in the chat, what's the secret? The secret is just activity, right? The secret is playing these accounts quite a bit and just, losing a lot of troops every single KvK on these accounts. And what I like about Middle Kuh is that I can play Middle Kuh on my phone while playing my main city on my desktop. Looks like here's some more stats. Yeah, looks like this is the stats that HGT Nation has for the current KvK we were looking at. AG, by the way, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. So this is going to be another look at the stats of this KvK. You can see with the group of 6 that the power is pretty similar for these 6 kingdoms, but the amount of KP they generate is quite different. The amount of deads they've generated is also different, but better spread out. The deaths are pretty well spread out, actually. You look at this kingdom on the bottom here, 3273. I'm going to give some credit to 3273 here. They are very low in KP. Very, very low in KP. Lowest by far in KP. Youngest kingdom in this KvK. But their dead count is very high. Now, maybe a bunch of them got zeroed, but to some extent, they are filling up garrisons and filling up rallies. So that's what a young kingdom that's not that good at fighting can always do, right? They can always fill stuff, and credit to them for doing that in this KvK. We will get back to the 1093 KvK in a bit, but one of the things I did want to do on this stream is I have a lot of armaments to open. I have a whole bunch of armaments to open. I have an arc match tomorrow. Maybe I will find something worth using. I'm going to go for wedge formation because I'm just like not that garrison focused at the moment because Eleanor is just so bad in KvK. So I'm just going to go wedge. I'm going to buff up my open field. And let's just start opening these armaments here. We're going to go through them pretty quick. I will check some purples that have an inscription, but other than that, we're going to go through all of this real quick. Aces High says 3273 isn't in KvK. They are a CW kingdom. Well, they showed up on that. They showed up on that stat page somehow. So, all right, we got a couple of nice to get a couple of legendaries from these blue chests. Aces High, thank you for this. Thank you for the sub, Aces High. Appreciate it. So, nothing to save here, but we do get some recycling materials. Always nice to get legendaries from the blue chests. Oh, it's a civil war. Oh, they're in a civil war, and that's why they have deads. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Gotcha. All right, nothing there. We're getting through these blues very quickly. We do get the legendary inscription from the blue chest. Let's take a look here. Evasive. Oh! Okay. Maybe we'll find something we can use, he says. Maybe we'll find something he can use. That's a great one. That's a great one right there. Evasive's not amazing. Well, actually, 1% less of damage is good. Oh yeah, evasive is good. So that's a really good armament right there. Holy smokes. The amount of stats on this is going to be 3.75 plus 5.1. So basically 9% of stats. When you add in the evasive as well, you're looking at about 11.5% of stats on this thing. That's for sure going to be good enough to put on a march, like right now, for sure. I don't know if that's going to be my best in this slot, but like it's pretty close. It's pretty close. And from a blue chest, no less. From a blue chest, no less. We like that. Not too many members in the chat, but I will throw the purple heads in there as a bit of a celebration. And we're going to move on to the purples now. We get another legendary inscription, again in the rare slot. So it's been a while since we got something good on stream, but maybe tonight we're going to run hot. Rapacious. I don't even know what Rapacious does. 1.5% extra damage. Holy crap. That's a super good regular inscription. 1.5% extra damage. That's going to be a reroll, I think. That's going to be a reroll. Okay, pretty good. Abu. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we're looking pretty good here so far. Another legendary inscription. Another one. Let's see what we got here. This is in the instrument slot here. We do need improvements in the instrument slot. Guarded, I believe, is good. Yeah, guarded seems pretty good. The rolls are bad, but is this inscription good enough to lock? Whenever the wielder's troop takes any type of skill damage, it has a 10% chance to reduce the damage by 20%. Now, how long does this last, though? Oh, it's whenever it takes skill damage. So, this is reducing skill damage by 2%, but it has a cooldown. It's reducing skill damage by 2%, so it's reducing all damage by 1%, but it also has a cooldown, so it's really only doing, like, maybe reducing damage by, like, 0.7% or something. So, not a great inscription. I'll lock it for now, but I don't think I'm going to keep that one, actually. Oh, looks like Abu is in 1093. I mean, Abu, I haven't seen too much hate for 1093. What cracked me up, you know, the title of my stream refers to 1093, you know, quitting the Grand Prix. It was definitely a bit of clickbait, but I looked on Facebook at what people were saying on Facebook about that. Embattled with an inscription. That doesn't even seem worth saving. I was looking on Facebook to see what they were saying about 1093 quitting. And what was hilarious to me was that everyone on Facebook was just complaining about the fact that they lost their Oryx, right? It was just, people were just like, those bastards, they cost me all my Oryx. Rip my Oryx. Every negative comment about 1093 was literally based on the fact that the poster had bet on 1093 to win, and so they were pissed that they lost their Oryx. I just thought that was great. I mean, that's kind of like the way that I view life, basically, is I'm just like, what's in it for me? Not too much ethics or, you know, morality about stuff. I just like, does it help me or not? And I'm not like trying to judge other people, and I'm not wanting to be judged myself, but I'm just sort of like, if I bet on a sports team, I'm going to root for them. If I grew up rooting for you, like I grew up rooting for the Michigan Wolverines, or I grew up rooting for the Detroit Tigers, that's fine. But if I bet against the Wolverines, I will just be totally happy if they lose. And so, yeah, everything on Facebook was completely self-centered around the Auric betting on 1093. And to me, that's just like honest, right? That's honest. Another legendary inscription. We're hitting a ton of legendary inscriptions tonight. Infamy is a very good inscription. 3.5% attack. The rolls are not that good, but we're just going to lock this thing because why not? You just never know. We'll lock this thing. We're getting a ton of inscriptions here. We're still not even into the legendaries. We're just getting really good rolls from these purple chests here. Nothing on that one. Yeah, look, it wasn't a good thing that 1093 quit, and it wasn't, you know, it's disappointing that they had their obelisk taken. Seems like it was a very good play by 466W. But, I mean, at the end of the day, nobody is like, it's just not realistic to be like super upset, right? If you're posting on Facebook about what happened, and you're like, my heart is broken to see one of the teams that I admired leaving an arc match early. If you're going to post something like that, I just think it's like probably dishonest, right? It's like a weird form of virtue signaling. And so when everybody's just like, damn, my Oryx are murked by them quitting, to me that's just like an honest reaction, and so I'm all for that. Abu says, but if you saw the interview from our leader, he said that we have Kingsland open and not sure if we can play Grand Prix. It's very hard to coordinate two parts of the game at the same time. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Silent Flow did... he did donate his time to doing an interview with Plato. It was like a very good interview, and Plato edited like a really good video out of it. And, you know, Silent Flow and Orchid have also done interviews in the past, and so they've been generous with their time about stuff. And so, yeah, I just don't think it's that big of a deal that they quit early. Well-clad, another good inscription. We're getting so many good inscriptions here. Not good rolls here, but I just lock these. I lock these, and you know, if I hoard them a bit, that's fine. I can recycle them later. We also want to just keep an eye on... We just want to keep an eye on the luck situation. We're down to 118 on the pity roll, so we have a long way to go. So I just keep opening here. Everybody throw a like on the stream if you're hanging out right now. I do like to open stuff on the stream, even though people tend to leave when I'm opening chests, but it's still good to open it on stream, I think. Especially when you go through them real quick. We've already gotten one very good armament tonight. A triple roll with a quality inscription. So we will hope for a bit more luck as we go into these legendaries. Last four purples here. One last inscription for the road in the banner slot. Eclipsed is pretty good. Eclipsed is a pretty good inscription. 2.5% less skill damage of all types. This shows you how much better this is than Guarded, like way better than Guarded. And a double cav roll, so this is a pretty good one. This is the kind of thing you can use some stones to re-roll here. Eclipse is definitely a top tier regular inscription. So let me quickly open these random chests now. See if we get anything at all. Nothing there. And a couple of legendaries here from the purple random. Okay. Nothing there. Now 3 random legendaries. This says I lock those ones and do a single transmute stones into it and hope for good stats. Yeah, I have not been grinding the game a ton. I'm overdue for a massive recycling session. I won't bore you with it on the stream tonight. But, I mean, I just don't have that many transmutation stones, right? I've got 66 of them. I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to still roll, so... yeah, I just lock stuff, and then we'll sometimes just unlock it later, basically. But here we go, legendaries. Let's get something good here. Okay, whoa! Okay, 3 inscriptions, all in the 2 rare slots. So, okay, this is hell yes. This is Hunter. Okay, we have to win this KvK now. We have to win this KvK because I need a Hunter inscription for this one. Triple stat. 2 max rolls. How about it? We have to win KvK now because I need a Hunter for this for sure. This might be better than the thing I have Hunter on now. That's fantastic. That is a fantastic inscription. Triple statted. Almost max roll. That is just straight up waiting for an inscription to be put on it. And, you know, this is why you rig KvKs in your favor, because you have to get the Hunter inscriptions to put on stuff like this. HTT, give me your spare Hunter. Even the chat's loving that one. That's a I haven't seen anything that good in a while, actually. But now we've got 3 inscriptions. We've got 3 inscriptions here. Let's take a look at what we have here. This could be an epic chest opening that we did here. Deflector. All these inscriptions I've never heard of. 3% less skill damage. That's a good inscription. Bad rolls, but a really good inscription here. Deflector. We take that. We take that for sure. All right, let's look at the next one. Elite. 1% extra damage. Again, a good inscription. Bad rolls. But I do like the 1% all damage. That's going to be 2.5% of stats. We're going to lock that one as well. Let's look at this last one now. Metallics is good too. Metallics is 3.5% defense. Bad rolls, but we lock it. This is why transmutation stones are so important. Because you get armaments like this that you can just roll and potentially turn them into something amazing. Of the 4 that I've locked here, this one is the best for sure. The triple statted scroll, all cav stats. We love this. Swizz with a good thumbnail. Next video, how I rigged my KvK for Hunter inscription. I like that thumbnail. I do like that thumbnail right there. Yeah, that's a you know. If the KvK ends up having an interesting matchup where I want to make a short video about the matchup, I may use that exact thumbnail, Swizz. That's a good one, actually. I've been finding that when I do like negative thumbnails and make like negative videos, that the reaction is pretty good. So I've kind of been leaning into the negativity thing lately. All right, another 3 inscriptions here. This is definitely going well tonight. This is definitely going well. Here we go. 3 inscriptions. All that's missing tonight so far is a double inscription. But we still got some more chests to go. All right, alert is not amazing. I have so many of these that I'm not going to lock that one. Brawler is good, I think. Oh, that's really good. 2.5% more skill damage and 1% more counterattack damage. Yeah, it looks like they either changed the names of inscriptions or maybe they added some new inscriptions. Because we're seeing some new stuff before. I don't think I've ever seen Brawler in the past, but this is a pretty neat inscription where it does both skill damage and counterattack damage. This is the kind of thing that you definitely use some transmutation stones on. And now we've got one more here in the lower right corner. Desperado. Desperado is a great inscription for garrisons. 2% less damage whenever you're under 50% of units remaining. This is great for rallies and great for garrisons. So we've got a lot of stuff to work with, and this is making me regret not grinding the game a bit more lately and getting more transmutation stones, because I have a lot of stuff to roll now. Exip, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're using the webcam. We're using the webcam these days. Let's see, how is it? You know what? It's working, man. I'm telling you right now, the webcam is working. We've got more viewers on the stream than we normally have, especially at this time of night. So, I mean, I just wanted to have more engagement, and so I'm glad it's working. All right, so primed is Oh yeah, Primed is a good inscription also. It gives you 5% march speed whenever you have over 50% of units remaining. Primed is a very good inscription. We lock that as well. I need to actually look at, you know, I feel like I'm not looking at all of these non-inscriptions. I feel like I'm being acting a little bit spoiled here and not looking at all these. I hope I haven't missed anything. But yeah, glad to see that there's 35 people watching right now. Very happy with this level of engagement at this hour of the night, especially when I'm just doing this armament opening. There's another inscription. And let's see how we do. This Zero says Brawler was just 2.5% skill damage. They added the counterattack damage to it. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess the name Brawler is a little bit familiar to me. But let's see what this scroll inscription does. Tremors. Yeah, Tremors is crap. Tremors is absolute crap. Did they buff this one at all? Whenever the wielder's troop uses an active skill, it has 30% chance to deal extra damage. They did not. I don't think they buffed this. Yeah, I don't think they buffed this one at all. I'm not going to lock Tremors either. All right, 21 to go here. It's been really good so far. The only thing we're lacking a double inscription, and we're lacking a legendary inscription. We've got 20 more to go. Another inscription here. Another inscription on this lot. Let me just quickly make sure that the music is still playing. Yeah, music's still going. Good, good, good. Nothing looking too good here. But we do have this rare slot inscription. What are they going to give us? Give me the good stuff. Oh. Not like this. Triple statted siege with barbarian damage on it. I mean, there's something pretty about the ugliness of this. You know, I mean, there's something about this that's like kind of just so egregious that it makes me want to lock it. But we need the recycling. We need the recycling material. We have to recycle this thing. The triple statted pacifier. We just gotta let it go. There's just not a world where triple statted siege is going to be good. The game is never going to evolve. Oh, will that help with a ranged march? No, it wouldn't help with a ranged march. Yeah, because like ranged needs V formation. All right, another inscription on these. Yeah, perfectly awful. Exactly, it's perfectly awful that armament there. I mean, a triple rolled archer here in this slot. It's not great, but I'm gonna lock this one just because it is triple statted, and my archer inscriptions, you know, they do need some work. All right, so here's another inscription. The inscription rate's been amazing. Deflector. 3% less skill damage of all types. Not bad. Yeah, 3% less skill damage is pretty good, man. That feels pretty good to me. That's going to be 1.5% all damage, which is 3.75% of stats. So this deflector, from a stats perspective, is going to be slightly better than something like Metallics, or maybe not as good as Hardy, which gives 3.5% of health, but certainly better than Metallics, which gives 3.5% of attack. So yeah, a good inscription here for sure. And we're down to our final chest. We're down to our final chest here. Nothing. Okay. So let's just I'm going to do a quick comparison of one of the things I got in that little pull. So yeah, like right off the bat here, what we can see is that the triple statted inscription that I just got is better than what I have right now on my hunter. So if I do get another hunter inscription, I will be able to do a slight upgrade to my best in slot, you know, cavalry armament. So that's, you know, that's cool. Not like the greatest thing in the world, but a nice little upgrade once it happens. And then what was the other thing that we got? Oh, I can't remember anymore. It was in one of these lower slots, right? It was in one of these lower slots. It was this evasive here. So let's compare this as well. Evasive is a decent inscription, and this is going to be slightly more stats than what I have for my best armament. But like if we go to Cav Wedge if we go to Cav 2, if we go to Cav Wedge 2, you're going to see that this is like a huge upgrade from what I have right now. Right? So this is just a straight up upgrade, an immediate upgrade to my number 2 cavalry wedge set. So that's great. That's a great upgrade right there. And let me go ahead and save this as cavalry wedge 2. Whoops. There we go. That's what we wanted, right? Yep, okay. And all right, saved and good. Yeah, focus fire is really, really good for sure. Swizz, I really use like 3 probably. You know, I use at least 3. So where I'm at right now is, you know, I've got the Eleanor garrison, right? So like, not that I always garrison, but I will still use the Eleanor garrison some of the time. And so, you know, this could potentially get my number 1 cav equipment and cav armaments. So, you know, this will be number 1, right? This is cav gear number 1. Let's say when I'm in a garrison, and then cav number 2 would be Nevsky and Joan. Cav number 2 would be Nevsky and Joan. We put the full set of cav equipment on them, and we put. I have a good arch set, so I could put the arch set on the Nevsky Joan. And then for now, what I have for my second cav march is going to be Justinian William. For now, for this exact moment, we have Justinian William. So we'd put our third cav set, which we have a long way to go on it. And we would put Cavalry Wedge 2 on that. So we basically have like 2... We have 2 good... we have 3 good armament sets now for cavalry, which is nice. That being said, I'm going to upgrade the Justinian really soon to Huo. My next project is Huo. I think I have about 300 or so heads into Huo now, maybe a bit more. Maybe I have like 350 heads into Huo. I could max him at the moment. However, there's going to be new cavalry marches coming out, or new cavalry commanders coming out fairly soon, right? Cavalry comes after archers in the rotation, if I'm not wrong. And I basically have to make a decision over the next couple weeks whether I want to use gold heads to max Huo, or whether I want to go through another KvK without Huo, save my gold heads for the new cavalry commanders, and then just keep spinning wheels to get Huo. The other issue I have at the moment is I've only got about 50k gems. Obviously, I would get more gems when I buy Crystal Tech, but the 50k gems I have right now, they are earmarked for the next More Than Gems, because I am 50,000 VIP points away from hitting VIP 18. So if a Huo wheel appears in the next week, I'm actually going to skip that wheel and save my gems for the More Than Gems event so that I can get VIP 18. Yeah, my gold heads have been kind of slow lately. I'm not exactly sure why, Swizz, but I kind of thought I would have more gold heads at this point. I mean, I maxed Lucci during the last KvK, and I don't know, I just kind of thought that I would get more gold heads in the off season than I did. I haven't been doing Champions of Olympia, and I did miss like the anniversary event. I didn't turn in on the anniversary event. But yeah, I have to make a decision about whether I'm going to build Huo or not. It's kind of a tough call, honestly, because when the new Cav comes out, I want to have enough heads to like build them both immediately. But at the same time, Huo is so good. It would be such a good upgrade to have Huo William instead of Justinian William. And then when I have 6 marches, I could then also run XY Justinian as a 3rd Cav march. So I'm going to have to make that decision soon. The other decision I'm going to need to make is what I'm going to do with my materials. I have about 100 materials right now. I'm mainly working on my infantry set. I thought about building Sacred Grips tonight. I'm gonna make my second infantry set have no set pieces at all. And so the Sacred Grips is fine in that sense. I'm kind of thinking about building this tonight. I mean, I don't have to, but the other thing that I could do is like upgrade, would be to awaken these boots. You know, or not the chest. I could awaken the boots, right? I could awaken. What was I gonna do? I could further awaken Shio's Return. I could get Shio's Return up to tier 5. That would cost me 80 to 90 materials. Or I could awaken... I was thinking about awakening these boots. I was thinking about awakening the archer boots. I don't have enough for this yet. So... yeah, I think I'll probably end up awakening Shio's Return. Because I still have 3 blueprints of this. And then I would get 10% march speed on my Lucci Gorgo march. So that's what I'll probably end up doing, but I don't need to do that tonight, really. AG, my KvK is starting very soon. We are in the matchmaking phase right now. We're going to do King of All Britain. My understanding is that a lot of pretty big A kingdoms have signed up for this KvK, so my sense is that we're going to have a pretty tough KvK, you know, depending on the map and who gets paired with who, but I do think some big hitters have queued for this. We'll see how it all turns out. Let me quickly do Triarch Trouble. I don't know if everybody's doing this event or not, but I am enjoying this thing. Let me make sure I have my gear set up correctly here. I'm liking the Triarch Trouble a lot more than the 1 versus 1 version of this event. It's been pretty fun. It's been pretty fun for sure. But maybe that's because I've only played it twice and we won both times. But yeah, there's something about like it being 3 versus 3 that makes it way more interesting than it being 1 versus 1. Yeah, we decided to do the Pioneer event. I guess Addy looked it over and he said that it's not a super serious map. It's almost a heroic anthem type of map. All right, so my teammate and I are poaching each other at the moment. Or he's poaching me. He's hard poaching me, but that's all right. Yeah, I guess that King of All Britain is a bit of a heroic anthem type map. You know, you fight in zone 5 and it's like maybe not that important. Then there's a level 7 pass situation, and then it all gets settled in Kingsland. So That's definitely up my alley. I don't want like a super grueling KvK for, at all. I want a more chill KvK. So yeah, hopefully we have like tough competition, but the map itself is casual. And yeah, that should be a pretty good fight. Looks like not a lot of fighting here so far. This guy wants to fight me, I guess. I'll just bring him to my team, and then we can fight. That's fine. Okay, we'll fight. I might have been able to beat him. I might have been able to beat his Guan, but as it is, you know. Ooh, who got that kill? I think I got that kill. I'm not sure who got that kill. Anyway, maybe my teammate did. I'm trying to speed to catch this guy. I don't know. I was supposed to be fast, but it's not working. Oh, I'm in the wrong territory here. I'm definitely not in the right territory here. But we can fight these guys. 3v3, let's go. I don't know if it's ever the right idea to kite here, but I didn't kite in time anyway. Alright, we're back. Very nice spawn there. Very nice spawn. But it looks like the yellow team or orange team or whatever is has the field. So I'm going to go back to farming. We've got an Itachi in this match. Itachi, one of the most famous names in Rise of Kingdoms. If your kingdom doesn't have an Itachi, what are you doing with your life? Kingdom Invader. I feel like someone who's fast enough could completely screw a team over by us just chasing the person like over and over again. We do get a bit of chip damage on them, but like we're wasting so much time chasing this dude. So maybe that's why I like this format, is because cavalry is like very dominant in this format. Because being able to run away is like very, very good. I guess I need to join my teammates here in this fight. I'm going to get in on this. I'll get in on this. I did get I got a kill there, and then maybe I should have run away. I don't think we're winning. I do not think we're winning this match. Although I'm not even sure how the scoring is done. Yeah, I didn't think we won that one. We got second place, though. Natsu, I agree. We need to win this KvK. I think we've lost 2 out of our last 3, so we definitely need to pick up a W here before 2024 ends. I mean, thank God that we beat 2268. Thank God we got that upset win against 2268, because if we had not won that KvK, we would have lost about 3 in a row, and that would be pretty bad. But, you know, it's like, man, big wins are... big wins can be the difference between a kingdom living or dying. I mean, that was just such a big win for us. It got us some really good recruits, and, you know, it just kept us from going the entire calendar year of 2024 without a KvK win. Alright, so I feel like I'm building up pretty well here. Looks like one of my teammates is low. Looks like there's a guy who's bigger than me here. I'll stay away from him. I'm farming the middle. I do like how this map, you know, it rewards people who control the middle because there are more spawns that are closer to each other in the middle. So I'm gonna just chill in the middle here and pick up all these goodies. This guy's trying to infringe on my territory, and I am not having any of it, although he's now ahead of me. I have to kite. Oh, he's super low, though. He's lower than me. Oh, maybe I should have stayed for that kill. I don't even know. I don't even know. It seemed like he was beating me, but then as soon as I walked away, I had more troops than him. That was kind of weird. My webcam is over the clock, so I don't actually ever know how much time is left in these matches. But I'm going to try to get with my teammates here and maybe do some stuff. They're not attacking us, which is great. But I need to kite now. Now I need to kite. Alright, so I'm going to cut this guy off. Oh, this guy's like literally the champ, but he's like so low. That's a nice kill, I think. I think that's a nice kill. I'm unclear about who you put these on, but anyway. I need to attack somebody. I need to do damage. I'm doing damage. I am doing damage. I'm low, but I have my teammate here, so we'll attack this guy. Yeah, get off us. Alright, I just need to heal now. Need to heal. Oh, I'm actually low. I thought I was high. I thought I was big. Now I'm getting bigger. You gotta pick on the infantries because they can't run away. You gotta pick on the infantries because they can't run away. I need this kill. I need this kill. My teammate gets it. That's fine. Speed up on this Huo now. I'm putting in work. I haven't died this whole match. I'm putting in work. I get a last-second kill there, but we still can't win. I was 2-0. We got second again. All right. I think that'll give me my daily quests for that event. Yep. I still have to grind it again tomorrow, but... yeah, I'm kind of liking this event. Try Our Trouble. It's definitely more fun than the 1v1 version. Well, let me quickly go back to the 1093 KvK here. See if anything has changed. So the fighting is here. Let's do a quick map update here on the 1093 KvK. I might be the only person streaming right now, so anybody who wants a war update is going to be looking to me for it. 1093 is definitely taking advantage of their enemy's downtime. They're burning their main enemy here and here, and this area is likely going to all be lost overnight because, as you can see, there aren't any cities teleported here. The tiles have not been gathered. All these flags will be very difficult to defend. And so it looks like 1093 in blue will be able to cut off all of this territory here. And they will then be able to infringe upon the camp in yellow as well, which is a weaker camp. And are they opening up other fronts on this side or not? You can see here, this flag is still holding strong. Looks like there was some fighting over here, but nothing burning. Or actually, they're not even connected over here. But they're unable to burn this flag, or choosing not to burn this flag. They're choosing not to burn this flag. It does seem like 1093 is focusing on only one thing at the moment. They're not burning anything over here either, so they have a lot of touch points with Water Camp that they're not burning. They are burning Earth camp over here, even though they don't have any marches over here, if you're water camp, you would like to extinguish these pretty soon because the enemy does not have a ball over here at all. But this is a moment where it's a really gut check time for the group of 6. If they let 93 free burn overnight and lose all this territory around the Zig, at that point things just look worse. I don't know that it gets... I don't know that the fight itself is that much more challenging, but it just looks a lot worse from a morale perspective. And gosh, I mean, there are so many touch points. There are so many touch points in this KvK. 1093 has to cover so much territory, right? Like, here's what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is that 1093's ball is way over here, right? And there's not a lot of teleport space over here. And so if this kingdom here, if Wind Camp over here, which they do have an Asian kingdom, 2102 is an Asian kingdom. If they could just open up an offense over here, that would really frustrate 1093. That would really frustrate them. Because they would have to move their ball up here to defend. Because they're not going to really be able to teleport enough people over here, I don't think. I mean, maybe they can. I mean, they could clear these barbs and stuff and get some teleports over here, but I just think you have to make life difficult on 1093. And the way you make things difficult is you stretch them out. You have to stretch them out. And there's ample opportunity for Wind Camp to stretch them out, but they're just busy defending this flag over here, which I understand. I mean, I get it. I get that you're fighting over here trying to defend these very important flags that have a ton of whales here and a ton of farms, but you just wish you could stretch them out a little bit. You can now teleport through barbs. Oh, I didn't realize that. That's crazy. You can teleport through barbs. Wow. There's more changes to this game than I realized. I'm going to turn off simplified graphics and see how that works. And I will be back in just a second. Yeah, Cicero, I do think that 1093 is looking pretty good. But I don't think it's over. I don't think this KvK is over. I think that if the group of 6 can have some good defenses, I mean, really all they have to do, in my opinion, all the group of 6 has to do is they have to get even trades on their garrisons, and they have to garrison a lot. They don't have to win the trade. They could even take some slightly losing trades, but as long as they're hard defending every flag, they can probably... They at least have a chance to wear down 1093. But, I mean, when you look at the power of 1093, they have a lot left. I mean, obviously some of their players are down to like 70 million, where once you're at 70 million, you really can't take too many more deads when you're at 70 million, or else you're going to start having fewer open field marches that you can use. But it feels like enough of them have a lot of power that if the group of... I mean, like, look at this. Look at Glock, right? Like, Glock still has a ton of power. Yeah, it feels like they have enough power left that if I were in the group of 6, I'd be feeling pretty demoralized at the moment at how long of a road it is for them to win. Because 1093 is like winning the open field, and they're on the offense. And so life is not all that difficult for them. It's kind of like fun to win. It's fun to win in the open field. It's fun to burn stuff. When you're on defense, basically what happens is you defend a flag, it burns, and then you have to kind of like rally everybody to be back in 20 minutes to defend it again. It's kind of annoying to play defense. Whereas if you're on offense, you just kind of stand in the field. If the enemy shows their face, you attack them. So I do think 93 is like a pretty heavy favorite at this moment. But if the group of 6 can have a day or so where they hard defend a bunch of stuff, I think that can, you know, shift the odds in their direction. The question is whether they're going to muster up the really significant effort to defend hard for a full day straight, because, you know, some of these kingdoms are serious, but some of these kingdoms are casual, and it's hard to motivate people to fight really hard to have a 20% chance to win. And right now it kind of feels like it's a 20% chance for the group of 6. And, you know, motivating people in that sort of scenario can be pretty difficult. But, I mean, they're in their downtime right now. Things can look different tomorrow for sure. Things can definitely look different tomorrow. Where was this other fight? Right here? Yeah. Like, you'd love to see Wind Camp defend some of these flags here. You'd like to see them teleport a city in here. They've got some other farms around this flag. So, I mean, they could do a pretty good defense here, I think. Especially when the 93T ball is not really here. You'd like to see them extinguish these flags pretty soon. And, you know, slow down 93's progress during this downtime period. Boba X Egg. Boba X Egg has the boat. Really, really good stats on Boba X Egg for sure. Excellent arc record as well on Boba X Egg. A lot of deads. Nice looking account here. Nice looking account there on the front lines for 2098. You know that there are some other kingdoms in this KvK that are sending Boba X Egg some messages saying, hey, why don't you join us while migration is cheap? I've seen Battle Winnie before. Battle Winnie's a name that's familiar, for sure. How many stars does this kingdom have? 3? Definitely some good players here in 2298. Whisper, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Yeah, there was a change to ROK with passports as well. I don't quite remember what the change was with passports. I want to say that what they did was they're gonna automatically add passports to the shop periodically. Do I have that right? Somebody fact check me on that. But I feel like what they were gonna do with passports is they're gonna put them in the shop from time to time for free or something. I'm not quite sure. I mean, one thing they're going to do is they're going to add a vacation permit to players, and then they might give a passport page discount to the players who are on vacation. Okay, here's actually what I'm looking for. In the future, passport pages in the Alliance shop will automatically restock every week, which should make it easier for players to acquire them. I mean, that's a pretty cool change. That's definitely a cool change. That's going to be an interesting fight. Obviously these things are probably going to respawn at a certain time. And I'm going to bet that in every single kingdom in the game, there will be a bunch of people who are going to try to click and grab these passports as quickly as possible. And I mean, I have no intention of leaving 770, but I will be one of those people because I have a ton of credits. Where are my credits? Well, it doesn't... I guess I can show it in the shop, right? Yeah. I mean, I've got a ton of credits, and I do occasionally buy a passport just to have them. Like, it's better off to have passports than not have them, because you just never know what's going to happen in this game. I could definitely... something bad could happen. I've got enough of a temper that something bad could happen in 770, and I piss everybody off or get pissed at everybody, and I want to make a quick exit. So, I mean, pretty much everybody in the game will buy passports when they get the chance. I guess, would I use my silver credits on passports? Maybe I wouldn't, but it's nice. It's just a nice thing to do, right? It's a very nice thing to do, because ultimately what has happened in this game is that almost every kingdom is short on Alliance credits, and the last thing we want to do is stock the shop with passports, right? We'll stock the shop with teleports, and we'll stock the shop with 25% expansions, because those are things that when our players buy those items, they help us in war. We want our players to have teleports, and we want our players to have troop capacity expansions. But when we buy teleports, we're basically, selling teleports to people who we want to have leave the kingdom, or we're selling passports to people who are leaving on their own volition, and we would rather they not leave. So it's always, I mean, you always stock the shop with teleports with a frown on your face, because you don't really want to do it. You just have to do it sometimes. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's cool that they're going to just donate passports to us. It's kind of amazing all the things that Lilith can do once they have a bit of competition. Once Age of Empires comes out and there's a bit of competition, it's like, oh, all of a sudden it's like, hey, oh, you want an in-game resource calculator? You want an in-game speed-up calculator? Sure, we'll add that. You want no debuffs on your castle skins? Sure, we'll add that. How about free teleports? How about free teleports, guys? Do you want free teleports? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that too. Please stay with us. Please don't try out any other games. Hey, capitalism at its finest. Competition. Bringing out the best for consumers. And, I don't know, maybe more of us should start AoE accounts and get more stuff from Lilith. I mean, it's not a real gesture in our direction until they put some of those Karawak ceremonies earlier on in the KvK. I say, until they put Karawak ceremonies earlier on in the KvK, we should all keep creating Age of Empires accounts. Algebra wants unlimited helps. See, I don't like the unlimited helps. The unlimited helps were scuffed, man. That made a whole different type of kingdom good in this game. Kingdoms that could bot helps, or kingdoms that would like do these healing parties over and over again. They were, you know, much better at this game when you had unlimited helps. Is this an aura? Is this like a VIP 18 aura that's around Uni's marches? I hadn't really noticed these before. I mean, I noticed the skin on the rallies. Like, I Eat Calves has this like special skin on the rallies, which I do think this is pretty cool. And the teleports are cool. I hadn't noticed this aura before. Obviously, I haven't been playing the game too much lately because this is the first time I'm noticing the VIP 18 aura on the marches. Or no, this is VIP 19, right? This is not even VIP 18. That's VIP 19 that I'm talking about. All right, so I am gonna play Champions of Olympia to wrap this stream up. I need to remember. Is anybody able to remind me what the meta marches are for balanced mode? For Champions of Olympia? I feel like I don't remember that anymore. I don't think I could scroll up here to get the info. So what are the marches? I know Constantine is one of the marches. But what is the meta setup for Champions of Olympia these days? Anybody know? Because you get every commander, so it's all infantry, right? It's all infantry. So what's going to be the best 3 infantry marches? God, I have no idea. Maybe like Constantine Gorgo or something? Or Gorgo Constantine? What can I do for Olympia? But I want to do infantry. Okay, Natsu's got me. I was hoping Natsu was in the chat. Constantine, Alex, Scipio, Honda, Liu, Sargon. Okay. Thank you, Natsu. Appreciate it. Now, do I need to put gear on the Constantine, the Scipio, and the Liu Qi? I need to put like gear and armaments on those 3 marches? Is that the deal? Oh, see, my thing is I don't have a level 60 Alex. Oh, it'll still work? Okay. All right, so I've got Constantine Alex. No need for gear. Okay, no need for gear. No need for armaments either? All right, I'm very glad Natsu was in the chat because he knows Champions of Olympia very well. And as much as I used to play COO a lot during non-balanced mode, I just haven't ever gotten into balanced mode. But that's probably my fault. Yeah, so no armaments and gear. That was the issue I had back in the day, was that I was confused, or a lot of us were confused about whether you needed to put gear on stuff or not. For some reason I thought you did, but I guess not. All right, so I think Battle Cry is best. Kind of like Bloodlust. don't like Bloodlust. I'm fine with having Taunt. And I'm fine with having Speed. I don't know if these are... I don't know if these are the best skills, but we're going with them. We're going with them. Wait. I don't want that team. I want this team. Yeah, I'm surprised they've had balanced mode on for as long as they have in COO. It definitely feels like less people are playing it. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to see the clock because of my webcam, probably. We'll see, we'll see. We shall see. So I've got a taunt, and I've got a heal. I didn't switch my castle skin. And I probably should have lowered my... I should have lowered my desk, but whatever. Yeah, I can't see the clock. Looks like we got some Cav players. A few different things going on here. After this match, I will lower my desk. But for now, this is fine. I should not have used taunt there. I should not have used taunt, but whatever. Do I ever use the heal now? Let's just try it. Let's just try the heal. Oh, he's not really healing. What's it doing? Oh, it's healed whenever it takes damage. Durr. Eternal, no opinion about Kingdom 3625. I'm not familiar with that kingdom. Oh, I literally can't see the score or the time. With my webcam. That's going to be a miss. This guy didn't seem to prepare for balanced mode. He's got a Charles Ethelfled March. That's not really going to do the trick. Alright, we're going to have to adjust the webcam a little bit. Does that work? Whatever, that's fine. Alright, seems like we're doing pretty good here. Oh, I forgot to put the chat back on. My bad. My bad. Eternal says, recently the two biggest alliance fought and ruined the kingdom for KvK, and I have no idea what I should do. Should I migrate to a new kingdom? Yeah, I would probably migrate to a new kingdom. If your kingdom had a civil war, you probably need to migrate. Unless you really like the alliance that you're in. I mean, if you enjoy the alliance that you're in, if you like playing with the people that you are playing with, then actually you'll be fine, right? Like, you guys will figure it out together. And that would be a reason to stay. Honestly, if you're having fun with your group, then I would stay, unless they all want to leave. But if you have no particular tie to your group, then just leave. Yeah, just leave and find somewhere that's better, because, you know, you'll be more likely to win KvK. That kingdom will be more likely to stay together. And, all right, so we need to find this. Oh, there it is. Nice. Yeah, you just want to be in like a successful early game kingdom so you can get more rewards and just kind of see what it's like to win in this game. Winning is way more fun than losing. So if all you do is lose in the game, you get sort of a warped sense of the game. Whereas like in this COO match, even though this is a boring blowout where the other team is not trying at all, I'm not having a bad time because, you know, it's just fun to win. Who cares? And inexplicably, everyone has left this thief except for me. And we have almost all of the flags. All right, we will build it. But nothing wrong with a good old civil war. You know, kingdom leadership is serious business when you first start the game. It's only after you've played for a few years and done the leadership thing and controlled a kingdom that you're like, oh, actually, owning a kingdom is not worth anything if you don't have people who want to actually run it. So it does seem important to control the Zig at the beginning of the game, but after a few years of playing, what's far more important is just having, you know, being part of a group that's willing to put in the work to actually not just run the kingdom, but organize KvKs, organize events, recruit new people, kick out dead weight. I mean, there's just like so much work to do in kingdom leadership that owning the Zig is like not much of a reward for it. Well, it looks like we're going to get an easy win here on this first Champions of Olympia map of the day. I guess I'll look for the thief in the middle. Where is the thief? Why are you hiding from me? Why is no one else looking for it? Am I really going to wander around for the last 45 seconds and not even find the thief? Oh, there we go. Spotted. Easy win. Easy friggin' win. Couple more of those and we'll have our rewards for the week. Oh. Eternal says, my alliance made jumper accounts and we are planning on making a foothold in the newer kingdom, then eventually bringing our mains to the kingdom. What do you think? Seems like a good strategy. From what I have seen of the new migration rules is they're making it harder for old accounts to migrate really far back. In fact, for something like KvK 2, extremely old accounts are actually, it's impossible for them to migrate back, I believe is what I read. So if you start a jumper account, I guess you'll be able to then migrate your young account back pretty quickly. I mean, as long as you can migrate it back, you know, within the next couple months, I think that's a good strategy. And, you know, that sounds like you've got a group that's looking to be organized and also looking to have like more of an impact in your next kingdom. And yeah, I mean, that's fine. You know, like the groups that take control of a kingdom at the start are oftentimes not the groups that are best suited to lead the kingdom. They're just the people who have spent the most money or who have played the game in the past. But if a group is talented, they just have to slowly grind their way up, basically. I'm just gonna chill here. Oh, we actually got the flag, so I'm gonna chill here until my teammate gets here. They're leaving. The enemy is leaving, so that's cool. We will walk them down. Who are we up against here? Looks like pretty much some randoms. All right. All right. I'm going to stay. I'm just going to stay. I'll let the cav guy go. Yeah, this guy was trying to snake something, but that's not going to work. Boy, infantry is slow, man. Infantry's like crazy slow. I'm so used to using cav in Champions of Olympia. It's kind of wild to have like 3 infantry marches. Are we taking this fight? I don't even know. I don't even think we should. I'm just gonna stay at this flag. Oh my gosh, I'm so slow. I guess I'm because I'm in the trees, but so we put the taunt on. We're going to heal the Scipio now. Let's see how this heal does. Heal didn't do too much. The heal skill I'm not loving. I'm not loving the heal skill here. Looks like we're going to win this fight, but I'm not loving the heal skill. Might as well pop this, because I'm about to be dead. I'm about to be deaded. All right, we are losing this match at the moment. They have all the flags. This is not good. This is not good. Somehow my Constantine spawned at the same time as my other marches. I guess there's something in balance mode where like all your marches spawn at the same time. I don't know. I don't know why my Constantine spawned at the same time as the other two, but you don't have your VIP buffs in balance mode, so it all feels slow. Okay. Yeah, I feel like crazy slow. So this one's looking like a loss. I will just go ahead and take this flag. I will agree to a surrender for sure. And we'll just move on to the next one. Oh, I was going to lower my... Let's test this out. Let's test out what happens when I lower my desk. What happens to the... Okay, the webcam changes a little bit, but not that much, so... Alright, that's cool. I do hope everybody is enjoying their weekend. I don't know if you're recovering from Halloween or if you're, you know, enjoying football, socializing with other people in the real world, whatever it is you're doing out there. I hope you're having a good weekend. I have no bets on the NFL tomorrow. I was just so busy all week that I was not able to do my normal process of listening to certain podcasts and getting their bets and betting early in the week. So, I don't know. I'll probably put maybe 1 or 2 bets down tomorrow, or I might drive over to the sportsbook after this stream and put a couple of bets down, but way less NFL action than I've had in any other week this season. I got beat up pretty hard last week, so I am down a few bucks on my NFL bets at this point in the year. But But only I'm down like 2 units. It's not a big deal. But yeah, you know, tomorrow's going to be an interesting day of... we have an ARC match. I have a bunch of work. And then I also would like to watch some NFL. So hopefully all those things go well. Oh my gosh. Attack somebody, please. Why am I not attacking? I'm butchering this. I'm butchering this. And I used taunt for no reason. Oh my gosh. That was a really bad fight by me. That was a very bad fight. All right, so we have 4 of the flags. That's good. I can't believe I used that taunt. I can't believe I taunted when there were no enemies there. That was ridiculous. All right, where do I want to go here? I think I want to go to this flag. I feel like I saw some red marches there. Okay, so I'm going to take back this with the Scipio. Yeah, I saw some red marches going here, so we will come over here. They're going to be late. They're not going to disrupt this dude's healing. So we're going to have them outnumbered 5-3. Scipio can come now too. Run, Forest, run! Run, Forest. Oh my gosh, this guy's low. Look at this. Look at the marches that this dude picked for balanced mode. A Yan primary and a double C primary. What a throw. What an absolute throw job. Who are we playing against here? Dude, for some reason in balanced mode, people are picking crazy lineups. I'm literally the only person in this entire match who is using Natsu's optimal lineup. Like, that's crazy, man. I probably should have been playing the unranked mode every week just to get a couple of gold heads, because this is really easy. If only 1 out of 10 people are using the optimal marches and some people are using batshit crazy marches like a Yan primary, then I mean, spend the 45 minutes to get the 2 gold heads. Or not even 45 minutes, spend the 30 minutes to get the 2 gold heads. For some reason, this game is like closer than it should be. I don't know why. I don't know why this game is as close as it is, given how scuffed the enemy lineups are. Do I even need to go here, or can this guy handle it? That's the thing. This dude's marches are so bad that I don't even need to help this guy, but whatever. Run, Forrest, run! Easy. Easy. Or the king. I'm gonna wait a second here. I'm gonna have my Scipio pull back. Wait for everybody to get here. Now we go in. Now Now we press all the buttons. Looks like the Scipio's being hit, so I'll put the heal on the Scipio. Does it do anything? I mean... maybe it did. Maybe it did something. I don't know. I'm not sure about that heal skill. Not sure about that heal skill. Looks like we're getting wrecked here. It looks like we're quite outnumbered. So we did lose this fight. We've got 3 of the flags. Let's see if my Lucci spawns at the same time as my other 2 marches. I don't know why it would. Alright, we're holding on here. We lost the mid, but we're holding on. Let me go over here and just cover this flag. Oh, Forest. Forest is here. Okay, so there's 2 of them. We will wait for Forest to leave, because Forest is an idiot. And then I'll fight this guy. That's fine. So we'll taunt. And we'll put the heal on the Lucci. It's not going to do much, though. That's the problem. I think we're losing this one, actually. Their Scipio stayed alive for so long. That Scipio stayed alive for so long. Well, my teammates carried me there. That's fine. You take that. And I think 2 and 1 will get us all of our rewards. Yep, there we go. Alright, let's see now if I've moved the webcam back to the center of the screen. Makes almost no difference, right? Right? Basically no difference. We move this back up. And whatever, it's no difference. Alright. Well, I do appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. I think I'm going to wrap it up at this point. We spectated 1093 and gave them a 80% or better chance to win their KvK. We opened a bunch of armament chests and got a couple of very, very good armaments. We got... this evasive with a triple cav roll, which is very, very good. We instantly put this on our number 2 wedge set. And then we also got, and this might be an upgrade as well, we also got this. We got the triple statted scroll with 2 max rolls. This is borderline better than what we have now. All right, this is 1.6 better, 1.4 better, 2.7% of stats better, but this gives 2.5% more counterattack damage. I would say 2.7% of stats is better than 2.5% counterattack damage. So I'm going to replace this one as well. Boom. 2 upgrades to one of our cav wedge sets. We got some other good armaments as well with good inscriptions that we could potentially roll in the future. We did all of our events. I guess I could do some Grand Prix betting, actually. Alright, so this one is interesting. What do we bet our Oryx on? We've had a pretty scratchy season here, where I bet on 21YL and lost. And then I bet on 732A and also lost. I did buy out the shop already. Or no, I did. Wait, did I? No, I didn't buy out the shop. I only bought the AP potions. So I'm actually playing with fire at this point by gambling as hard as I did. where I might not be able to get all of the gold heads. And I'm not going to be able to get, I'm not going to be able to buy out the shop. For the first time ever, I'm not going to be able to buy out the shop, despite the fact that I broadcast a bunch of these matches. It's kind of embarrassing. But we could bet on this match tomorrow. 466W is a big favorite. 732A did not play very well today, but they have beaten some very good teams in the past. I'm going to go back to my muscle memory as a longtime bettor, as a former professional gambler. I'm just going to go back to my, you know, the fundamentals of profitable betting, which is that you bet on a lot of underdogs, and you bet in situations where the public is likely overreacting to recent results. So in the last day, we saw 466W beat 93T. We saw 732A lose and not play that well. But that's just a short-term thing, and 732A has been good in the Grand Prix so far. So I'm gonna put a moderate bet on 732A here and give myself a chance to buy out the shop. I don't know if going all in is correct here or not, but I think if I win this bet, I will have enough Autarchs to at least buy the 5 gold heads. Danky, yes, I did used to play poker. I was actually a professional poker player for a decade. I retired or gave up as a professional in 2015. But yeah, I played poker for a long time and did a lot of sports betting and daily fantasy sports during that time as well, as sort of like a supplement to my poker income. But yeah. I live here in Vegas. I've been a lifelong gambler, a lifelong degenerate. I love the fact that when I'm broadcasting in Osiris League, we get to talk about the bets. I love the fact that there's just like no rules to this this digital world that we're living in. Probably not the best thing in the world that we're allowing minors to bet Autarchs on stuff, but what do I care, right? But that's just me. I am genuinely embarrassed that I'm not able to buy out the shop this time. But, you know, I appreciate everybody hanging out. I like that I was able to successfully gamble on some armament chest openings tonight. I'm glad that a lot of people tuned in. And I'll see you all on the flip side.